Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to look at the question in which we are going to change the fraction values into a decimal values. Here we have a mixed number, 2 whole number, 3/5. First, we change it in a fraction and then we will change it into a decimal form. Its fraction form is 13/5 as 2 into 5 is 10 plus 3 is 13/5. Now in order to change it into the decimal, we are simply going to divide 13 by 5. We take 13 inside and 5 outside, as we know that there is no 13 in the table of 5, but the nearest value is 10, as 5 into 2 is 10. Now we have a remainder 3 here. Now we place the decimal here in order to convert 3 into 30, because 3 is less than 5, so it's not divisible by 5, and in order to make it greater, we make it a bigger value, which is 30 here. Now we know that 5 into 6 is 30, so here we write 6 and now it's completely divided and we don't have any remainder, and this fraction is completely converted into a decimal value, which is 2.6. Now look at another question here, which is 17/50. Here denominator is greater than the numerator and we have to divide 17 by 50. As we know that 17 is less than 50, so in order to make it greater, we place a point here, and in order to highlight that point, we are placing 0 in front of it, so it becomes 170. Now we know that in the table of 50, we have 150 when 50 multiplied with the 3, and if 50 multiplied with the 4, it becomes 200. So the nearest value is 150, which is a multiple of 50 into 3. Now we have 20. Again, we know that 20 is less than 50, so again we place 0 here to make it a bigger value, and now we know that 50 into 4 is 200. Now this is completely divided and we have the decimal value for the given fraction is 0.34. Here we have another fraction, 1/3. Some fractions have an absolute decimal value and some fractions have a decimal value which is recurring. So if we look at this question, in this question 1 is going to divide it by 3. As we know that 1 is less than 3, so place a point and 0 here and it converted into 10. Now we know 3 into 3 is 9. Again 1 is in the remainder, which again becomes 10, and again now this thing will continue, so we call that this is a recurring decimal and it has a value 0.33333 because it continuously goes on. Up till now we were changing the fraction into a decimal value. Now we change a decimal value into a fraction value. We are all familiar with the unit 10, 100, 1000 and 10,000. So if we want to change a decimal value, which is for example 0.45 here, we start writing it like as, first we write 0 point here, and then under the 10 we have 4, and 100 under the 100 we have 5. It means that when this value change into fraction, there will be a 100 in the denominator. Now there is another way to do it directly without this. As As we know that in 0.45 we are taking decimal or moving decimal to 2 places forward. So 1, 2. So as we know that 1 is by default in the denominator. So if we are moving decimal 2 places, we add 2 zeros here. Similarly, if we have 0.4689 and we are moving this decimal here, then we will write it as 4689 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if we move this decimal here, then we can write it as 46.89 over 100. The places to which decimal moves, we will add that number of zeros into the denominator. This is a direct method of writing decimal values into a fraction values. Now look at a question over here in which we have 9.204. We can write it as 9.204. So we have 1000 in the denominator. So we can directly write it as 9204 over 1000. Or in order to write it as mixed number, we can take the unit value as the whole number. 204 will be in the numerator and 1000 will be in the denominator. So we have 204 over 1000. This can be further reduced and by 2. And the final answer is 9 whole number 51 over 250. So if decimal value is given in this form, we can also write it into a mixed number like this. Hope these videos are helpful in understanding different concepts of mathematics. Do visit and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.